something that I wasn't speaking about. Well, what that is I don't know if I mentioned it there, but I'm speaking to Hola, ¿qué pasa? Welcome to Tuesday evening in the office. It's 20 to 6, everyone's just gone, and me and Dave have just finished putting soundproof board panel things hanging off the ceiling in the boardroom because it's a little bit echoey, and we do conference calls in there, but we're also going to be shooting the next round of podcasts for Marketing Actively in there. And we also hung in the boardroom today the Marketing Actively neon sign, which will be the backdrop from now on for every episode. Our next filming days are going to be in a couple of weeks. We have a couple of people lined up already, trying to line up a couple more. Sorry, there's dust all over my laptop after doing some drilling on the ceiling where the laptop was on the table, which wasn't a good idea. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so that's all done. With a couple of calls before that as well, client update calls, so everything is good on that end. I need a drink of water. Bit of a chaotic start to the week. I didn't speak to you yesterday. What happened yesterday? We had a couple of calls and a couple of meetings yesterday morning, and then I had to leave yesterday afternoon to do some product research, let's say. Okay, I'm going to the gym. Then I have to go to a wake, unfortunately, because a former teammate of ours from Team Torres passed away at the weekend. Very, very young from cancer. Poor man. Tomorrow we shall be back in action, back in the office in the morning. Dave is doing, that's why we wanted to get that finished today in the boardroom, because Dave is doing a digital marketing masterclass, Zoom, not press conference, what's it called? Zoom presentation, that's the one, for the Dundalk Chamber members. So there's about 180, 200 people signed up to it. It's the presentation that we were working on last week when I was showing you the apples and oranges and all that stuff. So all very exciting. So we'll be doing that in the boardroom tomorrow, and we wanted to have those soundproofing measures installed beforehand to reduce the echo in the room. So all's good now. I'm going to go to the gym now, and I'll see you later on. I'm going to re-record this clip because I did record it before I left the office, but it was a bit chaotic. I was kind of out of breath and my mic wasn't on. It's 7:30-ish. It was a good day. Today was a good day. Yesterday was a good day. I said last week that we were going to have a TD who is a member of the Irish government in with us yesterday morning. We did have a politician in. She's not actually a TD, she's a senator. She's in, I don't know what the Senate do, the Shanad as we call it in Ireland. I don't know what they do, to be honest, but she's a senator. She was in with us yesterday morning. Really nice lady, and had some valuable discussions around the education system and graduates and things like that in Ireland, and integrating AI into that chat as well, about, I suppose, how outdated the education system has already become and is going to become even more rapidly, and how people within education and the kind of decision makers need to embrace that and need to drive forward the curriculum and integrate AI into all of that. So that was a really interesting discussion when this lady does have a, what's called, an input and a say into the education sector and is on committees and stuff like that. So hopefully something valuable comes out of that. And then yeah, I had a bit of a scouting mission yesterday afternoon for something private, and then today we had a couple of calls this morning, and then
the chicken, the rice, the soup, and the fortune cookies, and that's it. And then
something happened with the SD card there. I don't know where that cut off. Anyway, that's all. I'm going to get some grocery shopping and go home. I was going to do product shots this evening for the new Coffee&Kimuras rash guards, but that can wait until tomorrow. All right, there's my brother-in-law. I'll see you later. Bye. I'd ship it to America from here, but I think if we could get it shipped straight, if I could work with you on these orders to get them shipped directly, because like I don't know if I mentioned it there, but I'm speaking to some more athletes to kind of take on the team as sponsored athletes.
These, and hopefully we can ship these well before time.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Actually, I'm just gonna pull up another design here. So there's kind of two aspects to this. One of my athletes is opening his own gym, and what he wanted to do was have a custom kind of design for his gym, which, as you can see, the difference really is this is his Instagram handle and this is the name of the gym. So for this one, it'll probably be maybe 2 rash guards and probably 2 shorts, 2 or 3 pairs of shorts initially, but likely there'll be a bulk order for these. The shorts are going to be the same, which is fine. By first thing tomorrow for you, you'll have all the information.
Sure, that works for us. One thing, we also have your high split MMA shorts. So I do actually have all your boxing gloves.
Okay, great.
MMA gloves. So these are your MMA gloves that I had.
Brilliant.
These do have your logos on it. So one thing that I noticed within these MMA gloves was that.
No, it's more about the construction and the longevity and kind of testing it rather than the material and design that I'm concerned about at this stage, so that's okay.
Okay, got it. So we do have a leather glove as well and everything.
That was something in his head, was to get custom gloves done for fighters on his show. So it's actually the fight on the 3rd of March is the show that he's running, and then he's fighting himself on a bigger show on the 6th of April. So it's all one big circle.
Yeah. So we also got your shin and step. Yeah, get the ball running on those as well.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks a million.
All right.
Have a good day.
Likewise.
Bye bye.
All right. Bye bye.
Alright, that's a call done with one of the new suppliers, and yeah, getting some custom merch, custom fightwear done for a couple of guys. One guy fighting on the next Euro show on the 3rd of March for Austin Daffron, who is, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, potentially, yeah, I might bleep out all those dates so you don't know what's actually happening, because I don't think any of it's confirmed yet. Decky's date is confirmed. It was just confirmed on Monday actually, which I didn't speak about. So Decky's fighting on the 6th of April in the ODS against some guy from Finland, trying to get custom gear done for the guys using our new supplier because of the issues that we had with the order last week. If you haven't seen last week's video, go and watch that, because that was very irritating. A real unboxing, honest unboxing video. Anyway, right, I have to go and get, what happened with the lighting there? Anyway, I have to go and get all the files together now for these, have the designs done, just get the logo files, sponsor files, artwork, background artwork and base artwork, whatever you want to call it, and stuff like that, send it to the supplier, try and get those done. And as you heard him say, he's sending out the new geese from them today. Hopefully have those and confirmed by the end of next week in production. Oh, it's taken a long time, a long time. All right, time to get all that together, get myself to the office, and another long day. Let's go.
So to begin with, I just want you to take a minute to reflect on your own business and your own brand and its own story. And could you genuinely say that you are showing the story of that business, online, through your advertising, to people that actually know the story of your business? And I'd actually would say, probably a lot of you say, no, they actually don't know what the story of my business is. You're probably putting out, images of your products with no meaning to what they are. You could be putting out, the wrong type of content that a user won't engage in. So I just want you to think about your own brand as we go through brand story and see, are you actually showing that in the right way? Because of she then was like, look, I can't accept it. She was only 27 at the time, and she was like, look, I'm going to go and see what I can find to help, people with ME. And she discovered this product, acne seeds, which are little seeds that you put into your ears.
You can be making far more money than what you are, and it's like, I know that. So I was breaking down into areas that he could make money. So the first one is obviously
folder of filter, he's probably not even thinking Canada.
No, that's what I mean. If you're looking at
UK, he's thinking of English internationals playing over him.
He's a good name here, but once you go over to UK, no one knows who he is. No one knows anything about the system. No one knows anything about probably the machines that he's using. So
that'll be important then.
He should have them, he is some serious people watching the door,
Yeah, he imagine he had a English rugby player or something that was part of it,
Even an Irish, I know he's worked with a lot of Irish rugby players. If he gets an Irish rugby player, or an Irish soccer player who's playing in England, or an Irish rugby player who's played in England, or has a profile in England, something like that, that's who he needs to use to kind of break into that market. It's Wednesday evening, it's nearly 9 o'clock. Tomorrow's plan has been scuppered. Tomorrow's plan was supposed to be to do a content shoot, a video shoot for Oil in the morning, and photo shoot, followed by a training video shoot for the Oil and Coffee&Kimuras collab in the afternoon. But our videographer, Richie, has been struck down with a bout of illness, so he is currently bedbound and we have nobody to shoot the content. So that is going to have to be postponed, and unfortunately Richie is on holidays. not next week, the week after. So it's going to be probably 3 weeks before we get to do that shoot now, which is a little bit irritating, but whatever. People get sick, so be it. In the meantime, we will have the podcast that I did with James from Oil is going up next week. I've just scheduled that, finished the thumbnail, and finalised the social profile for Marketing Actively. So you can go and follow that there, now, here, because by the time you're watching this video, that podcast is live. There's going to be a couple of weeks of a break before we get the next one out, but then we will hopefully have one every week for at least 5 weeks after that. We'll see how it goes from there. We have a recording day in a couple of weeks, and we've already lined up a couple of people, and I'm waiting on a couple of more people to get back to me. That's that out of the way. What happened today? We had a bit of time in the office. We had a big meeting with a previous client. There's still an existing client, but there's been a changeover of personnel internally, so we had to realign with the new personnel. Don't think anything's going to happen with that client until the middle of the year. Well, that's a lie. We're going to have a video shoot in the meantime because we need to get some content ready. And oh yeah, this morning Dave had the webinar, I suppose you could call it, Digital Marketing Masterclass with the Dundalk Chamber members, which went really well. Everyone was very surprised at the approach that Dave and that we took towards the presentation. That was what we were shooting last Friday. If you saw last week's video, you would have seen the unusual photo shoot. I'm not going to call it a photo shoot, the unusual content that we were playing about with as part of the presentation. It is a great presentation and probably a theory and a concept of a presentation that we will use going forward. That is all on that end. Oh, alongside the release of the podcast next week, there'll be a release of the collab with Oil, which essentially will be a discount code on Coffee&Kimuras.com. That means go to Coffee&Kimuras. Well, I have the domain now, Coffee&Kimuras.com. I forgot to say that a couple of weeks ago. I got my hands on that domain, Coffee&Kimuras.com and Coffee&Kimuras.eu. I also have now. So that is multiple domains going to the same website. Speaking of the website, we're working on it, but I need to get content first before we can finalize that and launch it. So likely that website will be launched mid to late March. In the meantime, the content is going to be shot with a number of athletes that I have agreed deals with. So because of the stage that we're at as a brand, we don't have huge financial, huge financial capacity, I suppose, to compensate these athletes. So it's a case of that we're offering them gear, giving them custom gear for competitions, covering competition costs for a couple of them, and in exchange organising photo and video shoots local to them, and they'll be posted on social media regularly. So that's the kind of agreement that we've come to with the guys. I did speak about someone last week who had won his division at the Euros and looked really impressive. Unfortunately, the hype around him has come back to bite me because he has been snapped up by another brand who clearly have more capacity to be able to compensate him than we do. So that's unfortunate, but he does have two younger brothers who I was hoping to get all three on board, but I've only been able to manage to get the other two, which is still good. They're two very good competitive blue belts, two young guys with big futures ahead of them, so looking forward to working with those. I also have two guys from the US who have agreed to work alongside me even though they have current sponsorship agreements, so that's really good. Two big names. I'm looking forward to getting content out with those guys. I'm not going to name them quite yet. I have one guy in the UK who has agreed on a similar agreement, and one more guy in the US, a black belt, a really high level competitor with a hell of a track record, who will probably be the marquee athlete. And I was speaking to his manager, a different guy than I was speaking to last week, who has said that he's willing to come on board. We're going to do an initial 3-month contract and see how that goes, gauge the return off that, and see what we can agree then afterwards on a longer term deal, possibly, assuming all goes well. I'm still waiting to hear back from the guy I spoke to last week on the call that you saw in last week's video, who has a number of the three names that he mentioned. One is an ex-WWE athlete, WWE superstar, whatever, a female UFC fighter, and another ex-world champion jiu-jitsu competitor who is now retired from competition. So there are three guys. I'm actually going to get back to him now because he hasn't got back to me since, so I want to gauge what's going on there. Yeah, that's the update. So instead of being in Dublin tomorrow on a video shoot all day, I'm going to be in the office. But tomorrow is also ZOMA's first birthday. Not first birthday, Jesus Christ, fourth birthday. It was just because I looked at the calendar there and it said the 1st of February, which is ZOMA's birthday, so that threw me off. It's ZOMA's fourth birthday. No, it's not. It's ZOMA's third birthday. Wow. It's ZOMA's third birthday tomorrow, the 1st of February 2024. So we'll have a bit of cake in the office to celebrate, maybe blow out a couple of candles, maybe get those silly candles that you blow out and they never really go out. Yeah, so looking forward to that. That'll be nice. A bit of cake. Can't beat a bit of cake. Let them eat cake. Alright, I'm gonna go to bed. It's 9 o'clock on Wednesday evening, and I've been at the desk since 6:30 this morning, so that is another 14.5-hour day. Remember, these all rack up. The momentum I was speaking about last week seems to have gone as well, by the way. I seem to have lost all that momentum, which is a bit irritating for a number of reasons. Kicked off by that we had at the shorts last Friday, which isn't resolved yet, but won't be resolved for probably another month. So there you go. That's it. See you tomorrow. Hello, not hola. It's Wednesday evening. Welcome to the office. Welcome as I'm about to leave. It is 5:45. I'm going to the gym. Going to lift some weights. Did I show you our new laptop sleeves? I'm not sure if I did. Very cool. They match the boardroom artwork. I don't think you've seen the boardroom. No, you have. You've seen in the background the time lapses. And yeah, very cool. It was done before Christmas by Arthur the artist. Very cool guy. The same guy who did the reception artwork. So all is good. Today was an unexpected day in the office because, as I said yesterday, I was supposed to be doing helping being in the oil shoot that we were going to do today, but Richie isn't well. So today was an office day, starting to build out systems and processes and SOPs, standard operating procedures, for the agency, for everything that we do in here. So I've built out the template, I've built out a list of a lot of the procedures that we need to do. Just making sure I have everything. Yep. I'm in the dark now. Yeah, so I was just building out all of that. Wait there till I get down the stairs. There we go. Just building out all that framework, and then we'll start to flesh that out over the next while. So that was a good day, really productive. And now I'm going to bust out some frustration with an extended gym session. Set the alarm first. All right, see you tomorrow. Hello and welcome to Saturday evening. I'm in the car, I'm on the way to the gym. I didn't record yesterday because it was essentially a bit of a tedious day. Not a tedious day in the office, but a bit kind of nothing exciting happening because I've been working on fleshing out the SOPs that I spoke about on Thursday. Starting to build those out, going through it with the team, explaining what's happening and getting them kind of on board with keeping these updated and making sure that everything's accurate, because obviously there's a lot of procedures in there that will be down to what each of the guys do individually, and they would be kind of more familiar with it than say the rest of us would. So it's about getting all that information out of their head and onto digital paper, let's say. Last Monday, for example, I was away for a lot of the day. The Monday before, I think, was similar, where I've been away doing some kind of personal stuff and dealing with something that I wasn't speaking about. Well, what that is I'm building a house. I'm building a house, and I got a price from two contractors yesterday evening before I left the office that completely stunned me. And the reason that I haven't said what it is that I'm doing is because I had planned on a contractor doing the build for us, not really being all that hands-on in terms of being involved in it because I've enough going on with businesses. I thought, yeah, this will be fine, I'll just keep it going in the background. But the prices that we got from the contractors are so high that it's going to have to be a self-build job, it's going to have to be direct labour, and I'm going to have to be a lot more involved. So that means that these videos are going to be heavily truncated, I would imagine, at certain points, because I'm going to have to be dealing with parts of the build and stuff like that, and I'm going to be pulled left, right and centre, and filming and speaking about business isn't going to be a priority. I'm going to obviously be keeping everything running in the background or in the foreground or whatever ground. It's all just going to be running on the same ground, and that's it. But yeah, I might try and get some of that. Let's call it real estate. It's real estate development in a way. It's a private home for myself and my family, my future family, but it's essentially real estate development. So we'll talk about that as a kind of a separate topic. Let's use this as a learning environment and a learning project, let's call it. So I'm looking forward to getting deep into it. There wasn't really much to show you today. I was essentially just on the phone all day, lining people up and getting things ready for building the house. So that's another piece to the puzzle that is this year, and that is me and my ventures. That's the big news for today. So that's it for this week's video. I shall see you next week. It's a bank holiday this weekend, but we don't work in a bank, so I'll be working on Monday. The next few months are just going to keep being hectic, and it's all good. It's all good. So that's it. I'm going to leave it there for this week, and I shall see you next week. Adios.
Oh yeah, subscribe by the way. Thanks, bye.
Hola, pasa? That was very low.
That one.